So let's just jump right into this week's The Game recap, because it was cray. Like, I am honestly so freaking mad at Jason because I just did not see that coming. She saw it coming, but I didn't really see it coming. Like,
I always see stuff coming though. Like, always. Like,
well, I mean, like, I took cinematography school, whatever, however you say it, and like I still didn't see it coming.
I took television production. But anyways, I don't know. I just have very strong analytical skills. I can usually predict stuff. But anyway, yeah, it was a season finale, and it pretty much went the way that we would have saw it coming, except for the bombshell that dropped at the end. Tasha went into labor, and she was rushed to the hospital by TT, who, as we saw in the last episode, was about to commit suicide because several people died as a result of eating his chicken because they got salmonella because he gave them bad chicken. So he was going to kill himself because he lost his franchise, he lost all his money, and people were basically just hating him. So he wanted to end his life, but at that very moment, Tasha went into labor and he had to get her to the hospital. Get to the hospital. Tasha has a little baby girl, which we already knew she was having a little baby girl. Pookie.
She was so adorable. Whoever that little baby was, she was so
It was this grown baby because it was nowhere near no newborn, because everybody knows
she was so angelic.
Newborns pop out looking like old, wrinkled up old men, and that was a cute little baby that was about 3 months old. We don't know who it was fooling. But anyway, Pookie shows up and he's basically like, you broke my heart, you know, but that doesn't mean I can't be here for my daughter. She's my daughter. Let's get this test or whatever. Meanwhile, Malik and what's her name? Yana, his personal trainer slash girlfriend, rushed to the hospital, and they're there with Tasha, and Malik is really excited about getting back to football because he thinks his arm is where it needs to be. And
right, he had a little, you know, playing with his friends, and he think he all that now. He like, yeah, I can get back into the game, you know, I'm ready. And Yana's basically like, nah, boo, you ain't ready. You need to wait.
And so basically he's like, you're not really playing for my team. You don't care about me if you don't want to let me go back to play football. So he breaks up with her and basically tells her to go on about her business then and there.
Now we know they finna get back together next season.
Obviously.
I don't like how he played her though, because it's like she's just looking out for his best interest. Like,
and he honestly was ready to retire and never play football again before she came along.
And now all of a sudden he's thirsty to play.
And not only is she looking out for his best interest, but it's in her best interest as well. As she said, you know, that's her business. So if he was ready to go back and play football, obviously she would let him go because she would get a million clients. Not to mention they're in a relationship now. So, you know, he's just thinking like most men, you know, that he knows what's best for himself, and she's just trying to stand in the way of him and what he wants. So he breaks up with her, and what else happens? Oh, Kira and Blue get engaged because basically, or no, they're going to get elope.
Yeah, they are engaged. She proposed to her at the wedding, like right before it started. And he kind of pretty much did it because Jason was like, hey, you know, y'all are like Derwin and what did he call her? He called Melanie something.
Something stupid.
He called her like out her name. You know how Jason is. So Blue's basically like, alright, you know, I need to make some changes, whatever. And then he proposes to her.
Well, truly the basic reason is because Kira got cast in a Woody Allen movie and she needs to leave and go to New York, I think, for 6 months, or LA, either LA or New York.
I thought it was Miami.
Whatever, someplace far away for 6 months, and Blue basically feels like he wants more of an input in the decisions that she makes, and she's basically feeling like, you know, you don't get the input unless we're married. So they make the decision to get married because they really genuinely realize they love each other, and they were unhappy when they decided to break up last season. So
yeah, I think this is gonna be interesting next season.
I mean, I genuinely like them together.
I do too. I do too. But I think it's just gonna be like this rushed marriage. You know, I don't know how that's gonna go. So.
And I think that it was also, you know, like a a decision by the writers to try to make them different from Derwin and Melanie, because Derwin and Melanie kind of went back and forth for seasons and seasons until they finally got married. So rather than have that happen, they decided to have them get married early on. So we'll see how that plays out. But personally, you know, this was the first season that we really got to see Blue and Kira blossom into their characters. And I personally think that they're as good, if not better, than Melanie and Derwin.
Yeah, they're definitely a good placeholder. Like, they cool.
I don't miss Melanie and Derwin at all, to be completely honest. So,
I do. I miss them. But it is what it is.
Melanie and Derwin had a tendency to get annoying at a certain point. It was just like, okay. Because it was like, they came into the relationship already knowing, like, she moved there knowing what she was doing. It's not like she moved there and then he sprung some stuff on her and she was confused. She moved there knowing what she was getting herself into and then had a problem with it when it was what she knew it was going to be. So that was kind of crazy.
That's true. What else happened? Oh, and then the wedding. So this is pretty much where ish gets crazy. So basically, you know, Charnay's getting ready for her wedding, and you know it's wedding day. A whole bunch of mishaps are happening, whatever. And Kelly comes in the room, and she's like trying to reassure her.
It was a really touching moment,
yeah,
actually.
girl, you know, me and Jason had a bad wedding day, and blah 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 blah. You know, someone threw up on me, and whatever. And Jason's like in the background, you know, you see him peeking through the door and he's listening to all this.
And he's like smiling because he's remembering the same things that she's talking about. And it's a really touching moment between Kelly and Chardonnay, and they kind of bond. And Kelly was like very mature about it, and she's like, you know, none of that matters. The wedding, how the wedding goes off doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if your marriage is perfect.
It just matters that you're perfect for each other. And she was saying that to say that Chardonnay and Jason were perfect for each other.
Right.
So then the wedding ceremony goes down, and
Chardonnay is all confident, walking in the aisle like, yeah, I got my man.
So freaking Mary J. Blige's Can't
I love that song.
I love that song too, but that was a really hood song to get married to.
It was.
But and so she says these beautiful vows to Jason about how she never felt like their marriage was real because of the way they did it, and how she really loves him and is so happy to be his wife and to be married to him. And then he starts saying, you know, some of the same things, you know, when you came into my life, I was a broken man, and you fixed me, and you showed me, and you changed me. And right when he's about to say his vows, he goes, I can't do this because I'm still in love with Kelly. And Kelly's like sitting there like, so, I mean, I kind of saw it coming because it was pretty much like Kelly had no place on the show. She just popped up in the middle of the season, just there in every other episode, and she really had no place in the season. So I had a feeling that they were going to bring her back as a character, and in order to do so, she has to have some kind of relationship with one of the characters on the show. And who else is going to be other than Jason?
Well, you know, I think when Jason and Kelly first broke up, the way in which they broke up and they got a divorce and everything, it was like, it was really left open for them to get back together down the line. But I did not think that, you know, they were gonna do it. Like, I thought that Brandy was just in the picture and it was just gonna be that. Because he seemed like he really genuinely was feeling Charnay.
Yeah, I mean, to be quite honest, the whole storyline involving Kelly came out of left field. It really didn't, like, it's like, it had no place in the show, to be honest. The show was on a different tone with a different group of people. Chardonnay was fitting very well in with the cast, and their relationship seemed very genuine from day one, and you could tell throughout, because she's been on the show for like 3 seasons now, and you could tell that Jason really was a changed person and really did love her. So it's very odd to me that all of a sudden, well, but the thing about it is, I think what's going to happen next season is he's going to reveal not that just that he's in love with Kelly, but he's in love with both of them. I don't think he's just going to be like, well, I don't want to be with you no more, Chardonnay, I don't love you, because it's evident that he loves her.
I think maybe Jason's probably going to need some time to think things out.
But he can't do that to neither one of them. And to be honest, I agree with you.
True, but he just is like,
Kelly would be stupid to get back with him anyway, and I don't think she's gonna be just open to jumping back into a marriage with him. He treated her very poorly throughout their relationship, but I don't know. I mean, I just think it's a jacked up situation. He should have just went on ahead. Whether or not he was still in love with her or not, as long as he loved his current wife, he should have really not did that. He should have just went ahead and...
Yeah.
Because, I mean, honest to God, Charnay was ready to leave him. And he begged her to get back with him.
Right, that's the thing. That's why I wasn't expecting. I'm like, what? Why you just begged Charnay? You did all this stuff to get her back, so now you got her back, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm in love with Kelly.
I blame the writer.
But maybe
it was poor writing.
Maybe he didn't realize he loved her, like he was still in love with Kelly until like right then and there at the altar.
I mean, maybe that's true, but I really think it was the show just trying to get Kelly back in any type of way. And I think it was kind of poor writing because it came out of left field, to be quite honest. Kelly's presence, Kelly just popping back in on the show after being gone for like 4 seasons was just...
Well, I mean, Brittany had cancer, so that's her real name,
did?
Brittany. She had cancer in real life, so that's why she wasn't on the show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really
and she wanted to come back, and I guess that was, this is how they're gonna bring her back. So.
Well, I'm all for her being back on the show. I wish they would have did it in a different way because I really do like.
I mean, why couldn't she just be like,
there.
The stepmom or something, just back to being Tasha's friend? Like what she's been doing.
Her and Charnay were getting along, so I don't know. I genuinely do hope that Brandy doesn't leave the show because I really, I really do like her on the show. I really like seeing Brandy back on TV. But I did hear that she had like a pilot coming out for a new, like her own. But anyways, I just hope Brandy stays on the show and they figure out a way to keep everybody on the show because I like the current cast.
Yeah, me too. I like the new direction of the show. Alright, so that's it for this week's episode recap of the game. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for other TV show recaps. And of course, we will be doing season 8 as it happens. Until then, or next time, bye! Hey guys, so I just finished watching this week's episode of the game, and I believe this one is called This Is Happening, and yeah.